Hello everybody and welcome to Albert versus the Asylum. Found footage movies. They are the cheap movie maker's dream. Got a bad camera? Got no sound setup? Got no sets? With the found footage movie, it doesn't matter. So, when Hollywood put out the big blockbuster-ish Cloverfield, the Asylum smelled a cheap movie to rip off. And they made Monster. It's about two girls that go to Japan and a monster attacks, and they never point the camera at it. Ever. Let's take a look.
The cleanup continues in Tokyo, Japan.
As opposed to Tokyo, Papua New Guinea, where they just let it stay messy.
Americans are here dead after a magnitude 7.8 earthquake.
At this point in the movie, I'm picking up that some kind of natural disaster has befallen Japan.
Teams are
Possibly a hurricane or a tornado. Unfortunately, it was Scotch tape, so the event was able to get away rather easily. It was a J-pop concert.
Japanese officials estimate the damage to the city to be over $500 billion, in addition to the tragic loss of life.
And then the rest of the movie is just about two actors trying to find work in Los Angeles. Earthquake in Japan? Never mentioned again.
You gonna take those cute little green shoes?
They had Quentin Tarantino come in to direct just this one shot.
I shouldn't say that. It's like is it Japanese or is it Chinese?
You're so PC.
PC.
She's a Mac, and she's a PC.
Fucking jeans.
Can they put aside their differences to fight the monster and save the day?
Converters or something stupid.
Do they get eaten by the monster now?
Japanese people want like
How about now?
flat hair, straight hair.
Now.
Don't have curly hair.
Now the monster eats them.
No curly hair.
No.
Right now.
One of them has curly hair. You're so retarded.
All right.
Hey, Sarah Leaving's in this movie. Maybe it won't be all bad.
Okay, Sarah, what are we doing?
We are driving to LAX.
It's worth pointing out here that the actresses' actual names playing these parts are Sarah and Aaron, which leads me to believe that not only did they skimp on the camera work, the sound work, the set work, and the special effects work, they also didn't waste any money on much of a script. I have the sneaking suspicion that we're about to see a lot of improvisation.
We are doing a documentary on global warming.
We're going to call it An Incontinent Tooth.
This is for you and me.
We really think it's going to do well in the short-sighted grandma demographic.
This is the view from our room.
On a clear day, you can see the global warming right over there.
This pillow's made out of something funny.
Oh, she got the new Kevin Hart pillow.
We are here to investigate global warming.
There wasn't any global warming in LA, so we had to fly here.
3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. So, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
So that was a scene that happened in this movie.
So, I get that the Asylum is doing this on the super cheap and dirty and probably didn't get, like, filming permits or anything for Tokyo. But could they not afford to give these people a lav mic or something? Like, it wouldn't even break the immersion. They are trying to make a documentary film. You would think they would be able to capture their own voices. No one can hear anything you're saying. Who do you think is going to watch this documentary and be fine with the fact that none of the voices are audible? Excuse me, sir, are you aware of the fact that your hat has a condom?
This is my sister. She's going to be running the camera, Erin.
very little crew.
Very competent crew.
No, I was referring to the fact that they're all dwarves. What's up with that anyway? No one will be seated during the dramatic business card exchanging scene.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. I'm going to ask you a series of just questions concerning global warming.
Question 1. Global warming cake or global warming pie?
The Kyoto Protocol. It's key legislation that sets standards of emissions of greenhouse gases.
Objection! Leading the witness!
Continually fails to ratify this protocol. I mean, it's been suggested that Japan will seek embargoes against the U.S. until it complies.
That wasn't a question of your facts.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought of a few more questions on the plane. Do you not want to answer it?
Answer what? It's not a question!
In any way to help ratify the truth.
You know what? I'm not gonna stop harping on this. Why do these ostensibly professional documentarians not have their first interview subject mic'd up? What's the point of interviewing this guy if we're not gonna be able to hear what he has to say?
Yeah, grab the camera, because it would be a shame to lose all of that inaudible, horribly lit interview footage.
I'm sorry, did I say we were gonna be talking about Monster? I meant to say we were going to be talking about poorly lit interior shots that we're going to say took place in Tokyo, the movie.
Alright, okay, tell me you didn't see something coming out of that smoke.
I didn't see something coming out of that
I
smoke.
don't know if it was like light or glimmer or part of the explosion or glass or...
Just don't say anything about this. Just don't say anything. Who knows what their culture thinks is acceptable?
Who could say how the culture that came up with Godzilla feels about giant monsters attacking Tokyo? Not us. Let's try to be culturally sensitive.
Are you sure this is the safest place to be in an earthquake?
Well, considering that we're on a completely unfurnished, unlit soundstage thousands of miles from Tokyo, yeah, I feel like it's pretty safe.
Okay. Got a tissue for you. Okay, so what are we gonna do?
And so the world will forever wonder what they were going to do.
I don't care.
I do.
Global warming pies are clearly superior to global warming cakes.
Aaron, you're my shooter. You have to shoot this.
Now pick up this Benelli M4 and do your thing.
We're in a basement
Excuse me.
in
I'm sorry, do you speak
Tokyo.
any English?
We just went through a huge earthquake. My
English, do you
sister's
speak
trying to find somewhere to speak
any English?
but I don't
I'm sorry.
Well, I guess if we have both actors say their lines at the same time, at least we'll get through the movie
I'm
faster.
sorry. I think I do. Can you just talk to me, my sister, for me? Yeah.
So how do you feel about the Kyoto Accords?
Yeah, the top floor?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
You know what? I take it back. This movie is totally convincing me of the dangers of global warming.
You two Americans leave.
Leave.
It's danger here. It's not safe in the city.
I don't know, what do you mean?
Well, for starters, there was just a giant earthquake and you're hanging out in the basement of a giant building that could fall down at any moment.
Hi, I'm sorry, you never said, what's your name?
Queso?
No, I'm sorry, we don't have any cheese, but what's your name?
Earlier when you said that we were in danger, is there a problem in the city that we should know about?
Oh, and before you answer that question, hey Sarah, have you turned the vignetting setting on in the camera? Because there's absolutely no reason why you would do that.
Okay, sir.
Sarah, he doesn't want the camera on.
We're Americans.
That means we can do whatever we want to.
All we know is that there's explosions all over the entire city.
Oh, God.
And I think I heard that the Imperial Palace blew up like 15 minutes ago.
Wow, good thing we didn't have to see any of that stuff, right guys?
What we need to do is get ourselves to the American Center.
Where's that? Why not the American Embassy?
No, I thought of that, but the embassy is too far away.
Also, we don't have the rights to shoot film there. Not that we care about that really, but they'll catch us, you know?
How to get us out of the country.
Perfect. Let's go. How do we get there?
Well, first we gotta get out of this basement or shelter or whatever it is.
I sure hope the scriptwriter eventually works out what the space we're in is.
Yeah, I mean, anything's better than staying at the bottom of this building, right?
Meanwhile, in the exact same place.
Did you feel that?
It's probably just during the earthquake.
No, there was something underneath. There's something underneath the ground.
Yes, Sarah, that's where the Earth is.
Something underneath the ground. Come on.
What?
We gotta go.
Go, 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 go. Gotta get away from the earthquake NATO.
So,
That's great, Sarah.
Aaron, tell me what's happening. What just happened?
Are you seriously trying to film this?
I was asking the same question also, but I was asking it back when they were making the global warming documentary.
Yeah, just right to the lens.
There was this giant earthquake.
She said right into the lens, Aaron. Cut. Now we gotta do this take again.
Sarah said she felt something moving underneath the ground.
Which is what an earthquake is.
Checked the room, and we met this guy, Justin something. I don't remember his last name.
His last name is Time. Geez, Aaron, it's like you didn't even read the script.
It was about to fall apart, and where we can hopefully find some way to get to the American Center.
Which is the Asylum's version of the much more popular American Embassy.
Walking around this underground tunnel, and I don't know where we're at.
Are you gonna be filming the entire time?
As long as the batteries last.
What is this for, like a TV show or something?
No.
I don't need anyone else but her.
What was that, Cut?
No.
I don't need anyone else but her.
No.
I don't need anyone else but her.
What is the point of cutting directly into the middle of a sentence like this? Like, I can excuse the poor camera work, the shoddy lighting, the really bad audio, but the footage was edited. There are cuts in it. Why don't they make any sense? Wow, guys, the thing that we're looking at is like super dramatic. Man, if there was somebody here to film that, it would just blow people's minds. Why are you even rolling footage if you're not gonna point the camera at something we can see? Thanks for being on board with our documentary guy who we just met and who questioned the validity of said documentary like 2 seconds ago.
3 miles away, this way.
I'm sorry, I thought you said that the American Center was that way. Why are we just going straight? I mean, we don't want to walk by the tall buildings. We don't want something to fall on our heads.
Yeah, also if they were filming by the tall buildings, they would have to actually be in Tokyo. And who's got the money for that?
So in downtown Tokyo, we just went through an earthquake with a magnitude of like a 7 or an 8.
We didn't film any of the destruction though. We figured that describing it afterwards would be just as good.
Sarah, people running in. What are you doing? Let's get out of here.
We're doing the story.
We've got a story, Sarah. I'm sorry. The story's over.
Yeah, didn't you hear? This earthquake stopped global warming and everything's better now.
Sarah, give me the camera. Look, just believe me. I know what I saw. Just give me the camera and let's just look at it. I'll just show you and then you'll believe me. And just give me the camera.
Ostensibly, at this point in the movie, they see footage of the monster. We don't see footage of the monster because those parts of the tape were damaged. I'm sure we'll immediately cut back to them talking about the footage in a nondescript location though. Those parts of the tape made it out just fine.
I don't know what to say.
This wasn't actually footage from the movie, it's just Sarah leaving being annoyed that they're working without a script. I don't know why I decided to switch the camera to interlace mode halfway through filming our documentary.
Really just know.
So, my theory here is that this is the one scene in the movie where they accidentally captured clean audio, and they decided that that wouldn't fit with anything else they'd shot, so they layered a track of static on top of it.
If we do this though, we have to record everything. I mean everything.
Not like before when we saw amazing things happening and only recorded ourselves talking about them later.
Everything. So, if something happens to one of us, if we get hurt, we have to record that too.
And if one of us magically gets healed from a cut she had on her forehead earlier, we're definitely recording that.
I'm your shooter.
Yes, it is unconventional, but you have to respect the boldness of the choice to turn this movie into an audio drama halfway through.
Okay. We're not gonna stop.
Till we get enough. So after even more shots of them just running around at random, we finally get this. Yeah, baby. It's a monster. Or at least part of one anyway. Immediately followed by, yeah, even more close-up shots of Sarah Leaving's face. Hey, Aaron, the monster's right over there. To the right. Point the camera to the right.
Oh my God, look, over there.
Look over there, but definitely don't point the camera in that direction because there might be something interesting.
There's nothing we can do.
Hey, monster. I see what you're doing. I see how you went all pixelated right before you panned up to the computer-generated tentacle, so it didn't cost so much to animate. I'm onto your tricks.
Over here. I know, but Sarah, he's gone. We have to go.
Guys, could you just let me take my nap in peace? I'm really hungover, okay?
Wait, what are they saying? Wait, what are they saying? Wait.
And that's the story of how Sarah and Aaron accidentally ended up in the Tokyo Marathon.
They're like a bunch of worms or something. I mean, they come out of nowhere.
But enough about my ex-boyfriends. What are we gonna do about this monster situation?
See into his...
Into his what? His eyes? His esophagus? His wallet?
My name is Sarah Lynch. I'm 27 from California.
Yes, we know. We saw the beginning of the movie. Move it along already.
Dad, when you get this tape, you need to get it to the news.
And whatever you do, don't give it to a movie studio that's known for making mockbusters and shark movies. It's my dying wish, Dad.
Down here, I'm hurt.
In yet another scene that's almost impossible to see due to shoddy camera work and quote-unquote degraded tape, the girls are attacked in the woods and Sarah falls into the pit that one of the tentacles came out of.
Yeah, I think I'm just scratched up. Okay.
How do you turn this thing on?
Oh, it's right on the top.
Hold on a second. Aaron's the one who's supposed to be the filmmaker here. As in, the one who operates the camera. How does she not know how to turn the light on?
Alright. There. I can see now.
I can see clearly now, the light is on. And there are no distortions on the tape.
Okay, go back. Deep breath. Oh God. Okay. You're freaking out, honey. It's okay.
You know, you're in a tunnel created by a tentacle monster that causes damage to VHS tapes when it's around. Are you using some definition of okay that I was not previously aware of?
Hear that? A hissing sound?
Well, I heard it, but I just assumed it was y'all spraying air directly into the camera microphone for some reason.
Honey, that's not a snake. What? That's gas. Run! I think it's done.
So eventually, Sarah and Aaron find their way to the mouth of the cave, which opens into a tiny bathroom. Huh. Gotta admit, I didn't see that one coming. Wow, the acoustics of this room are amazing. Y'all should record a podcast in here. It's Blazo 3. Do you know where your children are?
Bottle of water. Still wasn't broken or anything. You want some?
Nah, not right now.
I only drink Aquafina.
Sarah, this is a Subway bag.
Oh, look, there's a foot-long meatball sub less than 5 minutes from here. Excuse me. Actually pointing the camera at stuff that's happening is obviously completely inconsistent with Sarah's character. It's like y'all don't even care.
What'd you say the population was again?
Around 8 million.
Yeah, but most of them are probably inside watching game shows where people have to swim in jello.
Just look at it all.
Don't point the camera at it this time, just look at it.
You can see the whole
If you're documenting all the time, you're not really living in the moment, you know, Sarah?
Aaron, we need to get off this rooftop. This is the worst place to be.
They're on a rooftop?
place to be.
How tall are these trees then?
Can we just stay?
Or are they on top of like a really short building?
Looks like it's gonna be really beautiful.
What?
How do you feel about global warming now?
Haven't thought about that in forever.
For the first time in forever, I'm thinking about climate change.
Do you hear that?
The incredibly loud sound of the air conditioner fan running in the background? Yes. Yes, I can hear that.
You are from the television?
There are two random girls using a VHS camcorder in 2008.
Yeah.
Why would you assume they were from television?
This is a very nice camera.
Terrible microphone, though.
You speak English really well.
I watch many YouTube videos.
They help me keep in touch with what's going on in the flat earth community.
Is your phone working?
No, nothing does.
Nothing but the lights and the incredibly loud fan right next to the camera here.
Is Tokyo destroyed?
Yeah, but it was the one over in Papua New Guinea that nobody's ever heard of.
Why are you staying here? I mean, shouldn't you run?
It's great for your heart.
Destroyed.
My grandfather tells me to stay here. He says that the Mizuchi will pass.
Hold on. Are they being attacked by a robot arm in addition to the giant tentacle monster that's been bursting out of the ground throughout the movie? Because it seems kinda late in the game to be introducing a new antagonist. Other than that, I'm totally on board with the concept. Oh yes, this must be one of those targeted power outages that kills the lights but leaves the loud electric fan in the background running just fine.
Are you okay? Is he okay?
Yeah, it's fine. It's just a really hard rapper.
No, you've got to come with us. It's not safe here.
Sarah? Where do you think you're gonna go that's gonna be safe from this monster? Because you and Aaron were in a completely abandoned forest, and one of them popped out of the ground and sucked you into a cave.
I need to stay here with him.
He's very afraid of the dark.
She's gonna come and it's gonna kill her.
Aaron, she's made her choice.
If she wants to root for the Yankees, there's nothing we can do about it.
We have to make ours.
If they stay and help the Japanese girl, turn to page 52. If they go off on their own and abandon her, turn to page 78.
Do you speak any English?
Excuse me, ma'am, we're trying to make a found footage film here. Do you mind not interrupting us?
What are they saying?
So as you can see, real estate values in this area have continued to plummet. And now back to you in the studio, Bob.
They're arresting.
Wait, no, we're Americans.
And here all this time I'd been told the magic word was please. The girls get direction to the US Embassy, but before they can head out, the monster attacks. And at this point I can only assume that it's following these two girls personally. Not because it has a vendetta against them or anything, it just really wants to be in their movie, and they keep refusing to point the camera at it.
I'm trying to zoom in. I want to.
The girls escape from the monster off-screen, naturally, and finally find their way to the US Embassy, which is not in great condition.
I'm not ready to give up yet. I'm not gonna die like this, Sarah.
The gypsy woman said I was going to be eaten by robots in Kalamazoo. You know this, Sarah. The girls find a walkie-talkie lying in the rubble outside the embassy because what this movie really needed was even more whiny, high-pitched static.
Please, if anybody's there, please just answer. Okay. Please, anybody, if you can.
You have to let go of the button long enough for them to respond to you, Aaron.
American Embassy in Tokyo.
So, question. Is the monster supposed to be magnetic or electric or something? And that's why the tape is always corrupted right when it shows up? I mean, I get that that wouldn't make any sense, because if it was magnetic, it would just destroy the whole tape, not only the parts where it was in, but it would be nice if there was at least an attempt to explain that. Do you understand what I'm saying? I want to put your foot inside my mouth.
Oh, a doctor.
No, not a doctor. Still interested in licking your foot, though. And that's just one of the benefits of good old-fashioned cocaine.
Do you have a family, a baby, a wife?
Baby, yes.
I stole her from some lady in the supermarket.
Son that need it.
We found your story.
That's right, folks. We had to slog through an hour and 20 minutes of this boring monster attacking Tokyo, but finally, we have something interesting for this story to be about. Sarah and Aaron get word that the Americans are coming with their jets to blow up the monster and Tokyo with it. Here you are, folks. This is the money shot we've all been waiting for. 5 whole uninterrupted seconds of monster footage, and then we pan away. That's what all of this has been building to. So that was Monster. Have I mentioned that I'm annoyed that they never pointed the camera at the monster? Because I'm annoyed that they never pointed the camera at the monster. It really irritates me that they didn't do that. Because there was like a monster, and they were making a documentary. It didn't make sense that they wouldn't have, pointed the camera at it and documented that it was there, and what it was doing, and its whole deal, and what it looked like and stuff. That's something that I would have pointed a camera at if I was in that situation. However, I will give a little bit of credit to this movie. I think that the two actresses playing the main parts do the absolute best that they can with these roles. And while it is not what I wanted to see, I did appreciate the amount of work that they put in to bringing these characters to life and going through this situation. The fact that they were probably working off of almost no script, improvising 90+% of their lines, really makes this an impressive accomplishment for them. Everybody else in the movie should be ashamed. But Sarah Leaving and Aaron What's-Her-Name deserve some props for this. You girls did an okay job with this terrible, terrible movie. I hope you get better work at some point. So until next time, for Albert vs. the Asylum, I'm Albert, reminding you that whatever you do, please don't take care, guys. See you next time.